Hey guys, what's up? My name is Nicolas and welcome back with another video. And today I'm not going to be playing a game, but I'm going to be reacting to the new Resident Evil. I'm gonna be giving you guys my thoughts so far for the new Resident Evil, Resident Evil reboot, which is Welcome to Racoon City. So this is the reboot version of Resident Evil movie, which technically is the reboot of the franchise from the older movie, which includes Alice, which a lot of people hated, and obviously I could not blame them because it was a different story compared to the game. But I have here is the Resident Evil movie title revealed and more with director Johannes Roberts, which is the director who's gonna be directing the reboot version of Resident Evil movie. So without further ado, I'm gonna be reacting to it. Basically, I've seen this, but this is me giving you guys my thoughts so far about the movie and what to expect. So let's start and begin. By the way, if you guys want to watch this, I'll be leaving the links of this video in the description down below, and this can be found in the official IGN YouTube channel.
Hello, I am here with Johannes Roberts, director of the upcoming Resident Evil movie for Sony Pictures. Now, Johannes, what is the title of that movie again?
It's Welcome to Racoon City.
And tell us the significance of that title.
The movie is very much an origin story of Resident Evil, and Racoon City, it's an ensemble piece, and Racoon City plays a very big part and is a character in the movie.
Obviously.
And it's about this group of people all coming from different angles, some coming into town, some already having grown up in this.
Coming from the town, which he mentions Leon Kennedy, obviously. And probably he's mentioning Leon or Claire, technically.
This town meeting over this one fateful night.
And you said that, we're seeing Jill, Chris, Claire, and Leon, the true heroes of the Resident Evil series. Is this an ensemble piece, or is there going to be one sort of central protagonist?
No, it's very, very much an ensemble piece.
That's very exciting. In one of your original statements about the movie, Chris, Claire, and Leon, the true heroes of the Resident Evil series, is this an ensemble piece, or is there going to be one sort of central protagonist?
No, it's very, very much an ensemble piece.
So technically, they're going to be focusing on all the characters because there's a lot of characters in Resident Evil, considering this is going to be focusing on Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Claire Redfield, and basically Ada Wong, and who knows, and Leon Kennedy, obviously.
That's very exciting. In one of your original statements about the movie, you mentioned wanting to tap into the moments that really connected with you when you first played Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2. What were some of those moments, and were there any that you were particularly excited to put to film, or conversely any that you really wanted to avoid?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me on this movie is tone. The thing that I loved with the games was they were just scary as hell, and that is very much what I wanted to. That atmosphere, like it's raining constantly, it's dark, it's creepy. It's Racoon City is this kind of rotten character in the movie, and that sort of atmosphere of the games I wanted to put in, and then mixed with the sort of more fun side of, like, especially with the first game, of what is round the corner, that kind of style of storytelling. We had a lot of fun with, like, that, down to the kind of fixed angle sort of playing that the first game had, is that constant, like, when we're in the Spencer Mansion, what's around that corner. I've used some of those techniques and a lot of those kind of iconic sounds, even down to the kind of zombie sounds and stuff. We've had some fun with that.
So I'm guessing that he's gonna be using fixed camera angles like in Resident Evil HD Remastered, which is quite clever because normally movies nowadays don't do that type of strategy. They rarely do that. Normally they like to move the camera around, but this one is just a fixed camera where viewers are gonna have a hard time looking what's on the corner, you know, to make that, the typical Resident Evil fixed camera angle look. So that's clever. So I really want to see how that is gonna work for this movie. So that's a interesting way to shoot a movie, which is basically using the camera angles of the game, basically.
Barry!
What is it?
Look out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of it.
Considering
I just realized Barry was using his Magnum and that zombie did not die with 3 shots of a Magnum. That's weird.
Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2 were both quite contained sort of haunted house games, with one set in a mansion and obviously one set in a police station. How are you weaving them into a single cohesive story while maintaining that claustrophobic vibe that comes from such a haunted house setting?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things. Really, like when I approached it, when we talked about how we were going to go about telling this story, the thing that came to mind to me was, I'm a huge John Carpenter fan, and I really took that as the way he tells these kind of claustrophobic siege movies. And I took movies like Assault Precinct 13 and The Fog and these disparate groups of characters coming together and under siege, and I took that as my filmic inspiration. And yeah, we have 2 very separate locations, but we split people off into their worlds, and each location one is more of a siege, like an Assault Precinct 13 siege movie style, with the police station, and then you have the mansion, which is like creepy as
It's a question that every, horror aficionado has to ask. How are you balancing practical and CG effects for a movie like this, which features so many different kinds of creatures?
Yeah, I come very much from a practical background, but also, recently have been, working very much with a lot of VFX with some of the shark movies that I've done recently. And we took a viewpoint of basing everything to start with in the practical. There's a lot of very intricate stuff going on in the movie, not just the creatures, but the locations are such big characters in the movie, the mansion, the police station, and I wanted to really recreate all this world to feel like I was there. That you could enter this gaming world that I'd lived for the last 20 years. So we started with the idea of practical, and then built on it and used CG to push the boundaries, rather than just start from like, okay, we'll shoot everything against a green screen, off we go. So there's an awful lot of practical.
You've worked in horror for several films across your career. Do you approach a horror film in an existing franchise very starkly differently than something that's original? Are there major considerations and pillars that are vastly more important to take into account than if you're working from something completely original?
Yeah, I mean, this was a very interesting one in that we were, this movie has, obviously there's the Resident Evil franchise, and this movie doesn't have anything to do with that. It's a whole separate origin story that is very much based in the roots of the game and in the world of horror. I didn't have to worry too much in that world, but then I was dealing with, and this was new for me, dealing with lore and history, you know, a whole fabric
Yeah.
within the computer game. You know, when I set out to do something based on those computer games, you then have to back that shit up.
Obviously, this new movie follows in the footsteps of a long-running film series. What did you really want to dig into with this origin story that you felt was new ground?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a very luxurious position, this movie, that it's very unusual. Like, it's not like I was presented something where we're remaking it. We're not. We are going in a totally different. And I fell in love with Mila Jovovich in Resident Evil. You know, that first movie, you know, it's great fun. You know, I love that side of the Resident Evil world. But this
I believe they learned that a lot of people did not like or did not fancy the movies compared to the games. The games were more popular than the movies, considering the movies were just a different story compared to the games, and that kind of ruined the game Resident Evil movies a bit. I did enjoy the animated ones, the Resident Evil, the Generation, Damnation, and Vendetta. But for the movies like Resident Evil Apocalypse and Final Chapter, it kind of ruined the franchise a bit because it was just completely out of proportion. So I'm guessing he's mentioning here that the reason why they're trying to reboot the game and not remaking it is because this is like a fresh start. This is basically brand new. This is technically the probably.
It's a real pleasure to be given the reins to a franchise, to a new franchise, hopefully that really is its own thing.
Yeah. So yeah.
You know, and has. I had never seen the terror and the atmosphere of the games, of what I felt when I was playing those games or watching behind people when I was a student, you know, university, watching behind people's shoulders playing the games. I'd never felt that on screen, and I felt that this is something I wanted to tell.
Yeah, true though. When you watched Resident Evil movies, the live action one, it didn't have the scary moments at the same time. It became like Resident Evil 6, where it was too actiony, and people hated it.
And felt that I was, you know, a good person to do that, tell that story. So yeah, that was really for me the genesis of this story.
Obviously, the first couple of games have a very distinct style and tone for various reasons. Are there any stylistic elements or influences from the first games that you've lent heavily into? You did mention the fixed camera angles. Is there anything else you can elaborate on?
Yeah, we did a couple of the fixed camera angle thing in the mansion and stuff, and had some fun there. I love the second game. The remake of the second game was probably the entry point into the movie for me. When that came out, when we were talking about this movie just before that game had come out, and we were discussing, you know, knew we wanted to get into restarting the franchise and stuff, and Constantine and I would talk about stuff, and then that game came out, and it just blew me away. And it just completely, it was like, from that moment on, I think we all knew where we were going with this movie, because it was such a wonderful cinematic experience with the tone, the constant dark rain, the sort of aspect of the game. And I just took that and went, yeah, that's the world I want to work in. And so we very much took the tone of the remake of the second game, and made that our template for this movie.
It has been such a pleasure to chat to you today about everything.
Yeah, so I'm guessing the style, obviously, for the because he did, I believe he is planning to do two games in one movie, which is the Resident Evil Mansion, the Spencer Mansion, Resident Evil 1, the Spencer Mansion, and Resident Evil 2, which stars Leon and Claire on Raccoon City and then combining it in one movie. So the thing is, I'm scared of how he's gonna fit two different games in one movie. Usually it's gonna be when you do that, it's gonna look like it's rush because you have to fit everything from every story, from every plot point to every key point to the story and every detail in one movie. So that's gonna be what I'm afraid of, that it's gonna look like it's being rushed because it's only gonna be one movie rather than doing two separate movies, which I believe to be should be much more what they should have done rather than fitting two games in one movie, which could potentially ruin the movie. But that's just my opinion, basically.
Resident Evil, and I cannot wait to see your take on the Resident Evil universe. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely chatting.
Alright, so that was that, basically. Next one, I have some pictures, basically. Oh, Resident Evil, or should I say Capcom, or director Johannes Roberts have already mentioned that the title of this movie is gonna be Welcome to Raccoon City. So for the Resident Evil reboot, and it was already what you call proven, and it was official. They have officially released it. It's not gonna be Resident Evil. It's gonna be Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, or just Welcome to Raccoon City, which basically what you call reference to the sign that when you play the game, which I believe to be this one. Welcome to Raccoon City. So from the video game, that's a good way to name a movie. Alright, so yeah, that's official. They already mentioned that. Another thing is they have revealed the cast, basically. So Kaya Scodelario, I'm not familiar with the celebrities, so I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. But according to my little sister, Kaya Scodelario is one of the actors or actresses that plays in Maze Runner. And I believe after doing a quick research, she was also someone who plays a character in the newest Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which is Dead Man Tells No Tales. So that's gonna be good. In terms of looks, she looks too mature for Claire. That's my opinion. She looks too mature for Claire because Claire, I believe, is in her teens. Obviously they're not gonna get a 16-year-old or an 18-year-old girl as an actress, but they're gonna find someone who is a bit older but still could fit the looks. In terms of appearance, she looks more mature. She looks more mature than Claire, but it could work. I could technically see it, hopefully, but she looks too mature. Let's go with Chris Redfield. Now, there are two types of Chris Redfield that I know. From the HD remaster that looks young, and obviously the hunky Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil 7 Hulk Hogan Chris Redfield. In terms of looks, I think this could work. He could work. He might work, yeah. For Claire though, Kaya looks too mature for Claire. But who knows, it could work with some movie magic. Chris, on the other hand, which is Robbie Amell, let me guys know in the comments down below if I'm pronouncing it right, because I think I do not, because I don't know these actors, basically. So that's Chris, basically. So I also know I don't have Wesker and William Birkin and Ada Wong. I know who the actors. I already seen the pictures and the actors, but I don't have it here, unfortunately. So yeah, Chris Redfield could potentially work. Here's another thing that I'm worried about. Jill Valentine does not look like her character Hannah John Kamen, which I believe to be I'm not sure what her nationality is. I'm guessing it could work, but I mean, I guess. I mean, in this picture, it might look, it kind of look like her because of the hair, I guess. I mean, it can work, but I still don't see it. Jill is my favorite character, and I was hoping that they were gonna, you know, use the face model for the HD remaster. I forget her name. Her name is the, she actually cosplayed it as well. Her name is, what you call, Julia Vaught, basically. Julia Vaught is the, should have been Jill Valentine, because I believe she was the face model of, she was the face model of, and where is it? There you go. She was the face model of the Resident Evil HD the Jill for the Resident Evil HD remaster. So I was hoping they could use her as Jill, because she looks like Jill. I mean, she was the face model for Jill. So obviously that's the poster. Where is it? In So there you go. So that, look at it. Look at it. I was hoping it was gonna be Julia Vaught. That's her name, right? Julia Vaught? I was hoping it was gonna be Julia Vaught because she is the face model of Jill. And she looks like Jill. It's perfect. It actually is perfect, but I was so disappointed when they did not use her. So, but who knows? She could work, depending on her acting. The looks might work though, but I'm still having that feeling that maybe it. I'm a little too scared. So this is so Hannah John Kamen. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I think she has I'm not sure, Indian or Egyptian Egyptian nationality. I'm not sure. Like Israeli is the Israelian nationality, like what you call Wonder Woman, basically, the Wonder Woman actress. I'm brain farting right now. Gal Gadot. I can't believe I just searched that because I just brain farted. My mind went blank. All right, Avon Jogia as Leon S. Kennedy also did not what you call, the appearance did not look like a Leon, basically, probably because of the mustache, because technically he will be forced to shave it as well as the beard, because Leon here is very young. He is a recruit officer. So technically Avon here does not kind of look like Leon. Chris Redfield, I kind of appreciate. He might work. Claire looks mature. Kaya looks mature for Claire. Jill, I'm too scared. It's just that it might work, but I'm also having my doubts. Leon on the other hand does not work at all. This is officially, unless, you know, with the makeup and the hair. But obviously, this is obviously he's not. He doesn't. Basically, he's not. What you call? He doesn't look like Leon because of the way he looks from the picture. But who knows? But yeah, that's the actors. Now let's move on to the poster. So here's the thing. Chris Redfield might work, so that's Chris. So that's the actor. Robbie, I believe, and obviously Kaya. Kaya she looks too mature for Claire. I mean, it looks good, not gonna lie, but she's just too mature. She looks older, unlike the younger version of Claire. Here's the surprising part. From this picture, if this was Avon or Avan, that's actually decent. That looks like Leon, at least from that angle. I'm guessing he shaved. Obviously, he was gonna be forced to shave, but that could work. That worked. Albert Wesker. So I forget his actor, but I know what the actor looks like, and from this poster alone, that's not bad. I'm not sure if this is an official poster because I just saw this on the internet. So probably this is fan made. But if this was fan made, this is probably one of the best fan made posters because this is from the game. The text itself is from the game, and obviously this is the actress Hannah. So Jill, still having doubts. I really wish they should have used Julia Vaught because that was perfect. She was the face model of Jill. But I'm guessing Julia Vaught is not an actress. Who knows? But here I'm still having doubts. If I look at her and I don't see her costume, I would not recognize her as Jill Valentine. There is no way that I would say she's Jill Valentine because I do not see it in the face. Albert Wesker, on the other hand, even without the logo, Stars logo, might look like Albert Wesker considering of the hair and the shades. The face might work. I have no idea why they have that headpiece. This guy, Avon, kinda looks like Leon. Not gonna lie, from this picture. I'm not sure if this was Photoshop because this could be fan-made. But from this picture, if this was him, actually, if this was really him, I would say it could be Leon because of the hair and the look. Chris, I might say he could be Chris, because of the looks. Claire, on the other hand, I mean the hair is nice, but without the costume, if I don't see the costume, I would say she's too mature. She looks way older. I mean, technically, they're gonna have older actors to play the younger roles because that's how just the movie magic works. Technically, you don't play your own age in movies because who does, right? But yeah, pretty much that's all my reaction for this Resident Evil Resident Evil movie. Welcome to Racoon City reboot movie. If you guys enjoy this, leave a like. Let me guys know in the comments down below how excited you guys are. Let me guys know if you guys are excited for Resident Evil HD Remaster. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are for this movie and how excited are you. The movie was supposed to be released on September 3 of 2021, but because of production, I'm guessing with COVID and all the restriction and limitations, the release date has been moved to November 24 by Sony. So I believe Sony is one of the in charge of the production. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like if you do, subscribe now if you haven't, and as always, I will see you guys next time with another brand new video. This is the Cool Mike signing off. Goodbye.